going to look kind of like a thin crescent moon shape. This is going to be pushing pretty far over to the left-hand side. It's going to help us out with his nose and his eyes. All right, once you get done with that, we're going to draw 2 lines. Again, keep these light.
Oh!
And these are...
Draw a bear.
Are you going to draw a bear? Okay, good.
Oh,
Oh, up there, okay. We're going to draw 2 lines tilted to the right. You're going to bring these down to where that mark is, okay? You're going to bring those down to where the mark is. Okay, one more guideline. We're going to draw a line. This is a little bit below the circle, and we're going to bring this across. We're going to bring this across, and that will help us out with the nose. Okay, let's work on the jawline. So we're going to go from the quarter guideline. This is over here on the right-hand side. This is going to go down to the guideline that we just drew. And then it's going to go over to the mark. So down and then over. This is for the back of the jaw. All right, now we're going to work on his nose. So for the nose, this is again on the quarter guideline where that crescent moon shape guideline is as well. You want to keep this light. We're going to draw a line that's going to go, kind of tilt out at an angle. It's going to go out slightly beyond the side of the face. All right, now before you hit this line here, or if you hit it, don't worry about it. We are actually going to turn up the nose at that corner. So we're going to soften up the tip of the nose. It's going to curve up. Okay, and then you're going to follow that line just a little bit, and then it's going to come up. It's going to curve up the opposite way. So this was kind of like a little ripple in the water. So down and then up. And then a little curve on the back part. And this is for his nose. And just do your best on that. That line is kind of subtle. That means that it's kind of hard to tell the difference. So just do your best. But we know if you've seen the movie that your nose, no matter how you drew it, is going to look better than some of those wanted posters, right? Because we just can't get his nose right. All right, we're going to draw the smile. Now for the smile, this is going to be below the nose, and this is going to swing up to where 2 of our guidelines intersect. Cross, and up and down. And then we'll add a little curve. On that corner. All right, and then we're going to draw a little bit of the lower lip. It's going to be the shadow right underneath the lower lip. Okay, once we have that down, we're going to draw or darken in the line of the side of the face from the nose to just below that lower lip. So we're going to darken in that line right there. Okay, now just below that, we're going to draw the chin. Now the chin, that sticks out, it curves. And you can actually, if you touch your chin, you can feel the roundness there. And it's kind of fun to touch a shape that you're actually drawing on your paper. And that's your chin right there. And it's going to go over to this jawline area. All right, now what do we need to add on the chin, you guys? What do we need to add? It's got
Bear.
oh, yeah, his goatee, his facial hair. Did someone say bear?
Beard.
Beard. Okay. I thought that was like a euphemism for, I don't know. Okay. All right, we're going to draw the beard, the goatee. Doesn't need to be perfect. You can give him that scruffy guy look. Just some lines going across the bottom area there. And there are the Tangled characters drawn in the class depending on the artist. Rapunzel was drawn earlier today. And occasionally Pascal, the little chameleon. Okay, next step, we're going to draw the collar. Now this is going to go from the chin. You see how it dips down. It gets really close to that jawline, and then it's going to go back to where this neckline is. It's going to go a little bit beyond that neckline and then down. Now, if we don't get enough time to add any more on the collar, this will actually be enough information for our eye to understand what's going on. Okay, and then we're going to draw This is a little bit of the front of the neck. This is going to be from the chin over to the collar. It's tilted just a little bit. Right over there where my pencil is. All right. Now we're going to draw a little bit of his ear before we move on to our next steps. For the ear, we're going to draw keep these light, two soft V shapes, or you can think kind of like a pointy U shape. This is for the bottom of the ear. We're not really going to draw the top because the hair may be covering it. So this is all that we're going to draw right now. This is between the jawline and the side of the neck. Okay, now the time has come to work on the eyes. Now we're going to use that quarter guideline to help us. That quarter guideline should be cutting your eye in half. And this looks kind of like a seed shape. You can think of a sesame seed or pumpkin seed, something like that. It's more pointy on the right, and it's more curvy, more rounded over here on the left. On the bottom. A little bit on the top as well, of course. Now that top line, that's the eyelid, and it might stretch out a little bit further beyond that line. Now again, we're practicing, we don't have erasers, we're learning, so if you draw a line you like, even if you don't like, and you made it dark, go ahead and redraw it. You can erase the lines later, but now you can redraw the lines. And that's all part of learning. It's going to be messy. Okay, now for the eye on the other side, we actually don't see that much of it, but again, it is on the quarter guideline, and it's between the circle and the crescent moon shaped guideline, and that quarter guideline is cutting it in half. You can see a little bit of the eyelid sticking out where the pencil is. Okay, now we're going to draw the little pupils in the iris area. Now we don't actually see that much of it over here on the left eye. We're going to draw a little curve there at the corner where the nose is, so we can just see his eye. He's looking back at us just a little bit. And also, before we get too far in this area, right there at the edge of the circle by that quarter guideline, we're going to draw the cheekbone. And this sticks out a little bit and then goes back in. So you see it's right here, it goes out just a little bit and then back into that line at an angle. And you can actually, if you touch the side of your face below the eye, you're going to feel that on the side of the cheekbone right there. Okay, now we're going to draw the other pupil in the iris area. You want to draw this light at first. This is going to be like a semicircle shape. We don't see the very top of that circle because the eyelid's covering it. Okay, and then inside that, we're going to draw a little pupil. That's a little circle. That's a little round black part right there in the center of the eye. We're going to shade that in. And then the iris, that's around the eye. That's going to be the actual color of his eyes. And he's got light brown eyes. And you can shade that in lighter. If you want to make it kind of fancy, you can shade it a little bit darker at the top part, because the eyelid might have a shadow there. You don't have to, but if you want to, you can. Just make it a little bit darker in that top area. Okay, we just went through a lot of steps. Does anyone have any questions so far? I know we've been doing a lot of stuff. Your brain is working to overdrive. Okay. Okay, now we're going to draw the eyebrows. First eyebrow, we're going to draw this on the left-hand side. This is going to look kind of like a flower petal. It's not really manly enough for Flynn, so we'll call it lasso. It's going to swing out from that crescent moon shape, and it goes outside your circle a little bit, and then back in. Okay, and then we're going to darken in the side of the head from the cheekbone up to that eyebrow. So it's just a small area. Right here where my pencil is, you're going to make that darker. So we want the profile of the face, we want to be able to see that. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to draw, this is called the brow ridge, which I'll explain what it is in a minute. We're going to draw a line from the edge of that eyebrow, and this is going to go up to the forehead, basically. Go up to the forehead. And then we're going to shade in that eyebrow. All right, so the brow ridge, that's where your eyebrow sits. We all have one. And we're drawing Flynn today. Flynn's a guy, and in general, guys have more angles, more muscular structure than females. So we were, for example, drawing Rapunzel at the same angle. Her brow ridge wouldn't stick out as far. Pretty much softer. And that's why his eyebrows look like they're actually touching the eye, because that brow ridge is so prominent. Okay, now the other eyebrow, that's going to be different. You want to make sure there's a gap between your eyebrows. This is going to look kind of like the Nike swoosh symbol when you think about Nike tennis shoes. So it's going to be more curvy, come up just a little bit there on the left side, and more pointy and narrow on the right. And it's either really close to that eye or it's touching the eye, okay, because that brow ridge is prominent. And then we're going to shade in that eyebrow. Now, Flynn Rider is actually named after Errol Flynn, the swashbuckling movie star of the early 20th century. And Mickey Mouse was partly based off of Errol Flynn as well, but mainly off of Walt Disney. Mickey was based on. So, in that sense, that Errol Flynn sense, Mickey and Flynn Rider are connected in like a Kevin Bacon sort of way. Anyway, so. I'm actually sure that Kevin Bacon worked on the project the same I worked with Errol Flynn and whatever. Anyway, all right, so we're going to work on the hair now. So we're going to be working up here. If you have trouble reaching, you can take your paper off the pegs and you can lower it. That helps you. We're going to take a measurement. The measurement is halfway between the eyebrows and the top of the circle. Whatever looks halfway between those 2 points to you, we're going to make a mark over here on this crescent moon shaped guideline. It doesn't need to be exactly halfway. So halfway between the eyebrows and the top of the circle, I'm going to make a mark in that crescent moon shaped guideline. Okay, and then from that mark, we're going to draw a curve that's going to go up and out to the right, a little bit beyond your circle. And then it's going to tilt. We're straightening up this line, but it's at an angle. It's going to go up to the very, very top, the circle, which is where our guideline is. Now you want to think about a circus tent. So if you guys have been over to Dumbo and the new Fantasyland, think about some of the circus tents. So then we're going to draw the other top area of the tent. It's coming down a little bit beyond the circle. And then it's going to go down to where the ear is. Okay, it's going to go down to where the ear is. All right, now where you ended that line, we're going to turn that into a little, it's kind of like a Donald Duck feather. You can think of a little shark's tooth, something like that. Okay, and then we're going to draw a curve. This is going to go right over to the collar. She's got some long hair there in the back. Kind of like a mullet. Now what do we say about a mullet? Business in the front?
Party in the back.
Party in the back. All right, some people lived through the 80s. Very good. And I have this
In
kind of...
Arkansas, they still wear them there.
Oh, okay, that's all right. It's never too late to wear a mullet. And we're going to draw a curve. This is going to go out from the ear over to the collar, facing out. Yeah, I have this kind of vision of Flynn lived through the 80s, or currently living in Arkansas. He would have this hair. He would have this hair. He'd look good. He'd look good.
Too many steps, too ridiculous people.
And he knows it. He thinks he looks good all the time. All right, so now that we're done with that, we're going to go back over to where the mark is, and we're going to draw. Now this is what makes it not a mullet, because he's got some longer hair in the front here. This line's going to go outside your circle, and it's going to go down to the cheekbone. And then we're going to draw a line above it, and this is coming off the edge of that first curve that we drew. So out and then down. So this is kind of like a claw shape. You can think about a bird claw. Bless you. Right on down to the cheekbone. Bless you. Okay, now that we have that claw shape in, we're going to be able to see where the forehead is, and that's going to be from the brow ridge over to the claw. And then we're going to do a little bit of shading just on this inside part of the hair. So that part's in shadow. And it also is going to help us to see a little bit of the profile of the face since we have a lot of curves in that area. And I definitely recommend, well, if you haven't seen Tangled, watch it. It's really an excellent film. And even if you have seen it, now you guys are all professionally trained on Flynn, so you can watch the movie with an artist eye. If you're not an artist, if you are an artist, you do anyway. But it's kind of cool, and you can impress your friends with, look at that shape, and there's the brow ridge. Or they'll think you're kind of weird. But either way, it'll be fun. It'll be a good time. Okay, let's go back to the mark. And we're going to draw a curve, and this is, it's not going to go up too high. It's going to curve, and then it's going to go right on down to about where the eyebrow is. It might touch the eyebrow. And then we'll go back to the mark, and we're going to draw a line that's going to go straight down to it. So this is also very much like a claw shape. You can see that little clump of hair sometimes in the film. Now we are simplifying the hair, of course, but that particular area you can see. All right, now almost where we ended that claw shape where the point is, we're going to draw a curve, and let me draw it, and it's going to go past your eyebrow, pretty close to the eyebrow, and then it's going to go over the ear. So that's why we kept the ear light. This is the line we were waiting for. And go over the ear, and then you can stop. All right, and then you can make the ear lines darker. They don't need to be, you don't need to worry about it. Okay, and we're going to draw a little bit of hair in front of the ear. This looks kind of like the tip of a paintbrush. All right, now we have a big blank area here, up here. We want to add a few lines. So we're going to go up to the top of the second claw shape that we drew. We're going to draw 2 lines, and these are curved a little bit, and they're going to go out to the top of the very top of the circus tent and the side of that tent. Up here at the top and over here to the side. So we're separating the hair into clumps. If you see someone that has long hair, if they run their finger to the hair, they leave these little track marks. Okay, one more big curve, and it's going to go out to the side of the hair. Now, if you want to, you can add a few extra strands around the edges of some of those hairlines. So we don't really need to think about it too much. We're just going to follow some of the lines we just drew here and there, even the claw shape if you want. So it looks like there's more hair than there is. And that will be our last step. Except for to sign our name, we want to sign our name. Really proud of you guys for drawing Flynn. You just burned about 600 calories. You're going to have a snack now. I'm proud of you guys. All right, today's the 13th of July, 2012, the 13th. I'm going to be at the back door of the rubber band, so y'all can roll those up together. Thanks for coming, and make sure you have all your personal belongings. Leave those pencils